Okay, so this is Cairn, which is a new climbing game from developer The Game Bakers, which is the studio, I think, behind Haven and Fury, both of which were pretty well received, so I'm excited to see a bit about this one. Now, I know very little about this game, but fortunately, my colleague Chris Higgins, you've been playing a fair bit of Cairn, haven't you? So what's been going on here?
I have, yeah. I've been playing about 20 hours of it, apparently. So let's start a new game, and you can find out a little bit about Cairn. Cairn is a rock climbing game. It also has some survival elements thrown in, which is why you see these difficulty options at the front here. If you really hate yourself, then you can go for the free solo difficulty, which does not give you a rope.
Seems like a bad idea to climb a mountain without a rope.
Yeah. But we're just going to start on the middle one. We're not going to use tutorials because I'm going to explain how the game works.
All I ever wanted was
It's
eternity.
it's got a little bit of a light touch narrative to it. It plays out through some phone calls and messages that you get from people that you obviously know in your life outside of the mountain.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's kind of about a climber trying to overcome the greatest challenge of their life. We're trying to climb Kami, the tallest mountain in the world that has never been summited, and about 150 people died on it this year or something like that. I can't remember. Obviously, we start out in the lowly bouldering gym.
And I have to say, I think it's unfair of a game to make me feel terrible about myself in the opening by showing the character doing a stretch I could never pull off, even with years of practice.
Oh, she pulls off some body movements that are defying physics as well as the human condition. But yeah, she's superhuman in ability, but she's definitely less than human in personality. She's quite annoying in my opinion, but I think the rest of the game sort of makes up for her initial brusqueness. And obviously, it's a narrative game. She'll probably grow as the challenge goes on, and I don't want to necessarily hold that against her to start with. But yeah,
So
this is
we're in a regular climbing gym, which I think a lot of people will recognise, but most climbing gyms don't have a little robot with them.
No.
What is
A little
going on
guy.
here? Like, what's the state of this world?
it's sort of sci-fi-esque. Your Climbot will help you by just sort of belaying for you. But yeah, we start off just by getting on the wall, and immediately you can kind of tell how the game works. You move your individual limbs around with the left stick and choose to stick them to the wall with a button press, which may
So it's
be
just
familiar.
it's just like co-op and baby steps, is what you're saying.
It's actually very familiar to one of Bennett Foddy's other games, one of the ones that a flash game that he made just after Co-op, called GURP, which was a climbing game where you just held down the button of whichever hold you wanted to try and get to. And in keeping with the Bennett Foddy tradition, this game is a little bit frustrating at times.
Yes, I can imagine. So I think a key thing that's probably worth talking about right off the bat is that I've done a little bit of bouldering. You're much more a boulderer than I am, but it's a very physical and feel-based activity where you have to touch a grip and assess whether or not you think you could hold yourself in a certain position. How have they sort of attempted to convey that to the player in video game form where you've got no physical sensations whatsoever?
Yeah, so I would say that that's probably the part that they've struggled the most with. You can choose to put your hand anywhere. Obviously, you're in a bouldering gym, so you're putting your hands on the holds. But if you are to put your hands on very bad holds, you might start to see that some of your limbs start to shake. At which point you would put your hand back wherever it came from and decide, okay, let's find a different position. But really, you make these decisions in retrospect. It isn't. You plan out your route as well as you can in advance, but when you are on the wall, you kind of have to make the decisions in reverse. Like, oh, I shouldn't.
You're
have
like
done
waiting for the feedback from the game to
Yeah.
go, that was a bad idea, rather
because
than
like a lot of climbers will probably tell you, like, if you show them a picture of a wall, they can't really tell you what the beta is for it, unless the beta is the correct solution to the problem.
I'm just
or
going
the
to say
intended
you're a
solution.
climbing nerd. You're using all the climbing technology.
But yeah, you might not be able to tell what the beta is if you haven't actually been on the wall and seen, is this sloper good enough to actually get my hands on? Can I put my hand there? What position does my body need to be in to pull against it? So I think that's probably, and it was always going to be an issue with a video game that you make about climbing, which, as you say, is very heavily dependent on your ability to feel your way up the wall, and also adjust your body and your center of gravity. But yeah, we don't just boulder. Obviously, we're going to be going out there, and she has a lot of rope attached to her, so we can drill in with pitons if we want. Pitons are our friends.
Bam.
And then, yeah, like, we're not actually using all of the holds on the wall here. We're using like little cracks and things. That's kind of what they want you to be doing once you get out there into nature.
Nobody's painted bricks across all of the mountains in the world.
No, and also they haven't necessarily left like white markings either, because some of the routes that you're climbing haven't actually been attempted by people before.
Are you telling me there's no yellow paint?
There's no yellow paint, yeah. They do a good job of setting out some routes for you, though. So,
before you finish this wall, can I ask, are you choosing which limb to move? Like, how does that work?
yeah, so the game is currently choosing, and it does mostly a good job of picking which limb I should be moving. But every now and then I do get annoyed that, like, I don't want to be moving the limb that it's picked for me. So you can actually do a manual selection here. I've set it up to be quadrant based, so I get to pick which limb I want to actually move around. But yeah, that's one of the frustrations with the game, is that sometimes if you're just using the automatic selection, like I just want to put my right hand up on that hold there. Like, I had a good hold here. That isn't a very good hold for my right hand. I should just have done that and touched the hold. Which, again, that isn't actually a legal finish. I would have to touch the hold with my second hand. But yeah, once we're done, we can just jump down. Oh, no way. Oh. Yeah, we were actually hooked into the wall there, so didn't get what we needed.
Go get
It's all good. Oh, the little robot. Look at him go.
The robot takes a really long time sometimes. I get annoyed with them. But yeah, they've done a good job of recreating the climbing gym environment. There's a pocket change lying around. Might not happen in your gym, but sometimes happens in mine.
What's going on with your gear, though? You have a staff, but you've also got an absolutely enormous backpack on that I can see.
Yeah, the staff is actually pretty cool. It's very useful later on. You can pull it out to explore caves and stuff like that, but when you're climbing, it just goes on your back. Gives you a little bit of light when you're climbing at night, which actually happens quite a lot. And we have a big backpack, which you might be able to tell is an inventory system. It's actually a very funny inventory system. It's physics-based, but you can also try a little bit to keep things organized. I got a achievement a few hours back, which basically said, like, did you really think that you could keep this organized? And they were right. It becomes a bit of a mess after a while, but that's to be expected when you're going up a mountain and hanging off a wall and digging through your bag and pulling things out from the bottom all the time.
Resident Evil's Leon Kennedy has it much easier.
Yeah, the briefcase with the set out squares that you would put everything in is much more preferable.
But we can see it's a survival game, right, as well. So like, you've got some things in the top left, and you can see these items are offering something. how exactly does that work?
Over time and with exposure and effort, you will lose these survival meters. You have your hunger, your thirst, and your, I guess, cold meter. So each of these things will give you back some of those. I don't actually have anything that recovers cold at the minute. Maybe we can buy
It's a
some
vending machine, though.
from the vending machine that will. Nah, nothing'll help me with the harsh cold outside. Maybe some raisins. Maybe a yellow yak as well. Not a Red Bull.
Delicious. Nice, but I don't think people came here to see vending machine gameplay, so shall we get to some climbing?
Sure. But yeah, basically you can fire up a wall, and because this is a proper wall instead of like a baby bouldering wall or whatever, we're going to want to clip it. And you do that by firing these pitons into the wall. Arva calls them pitons. I don't agree.
So I'm glad you're in that camp, because I was playing Peak with some friends the other day, and I would call them pitons. Mm-hmm. And my friend was like, "Why do you say that word so weird?" And I was like, "I thought it was French.
It's
like,
French.
Is it not French?"
It's French.
Yeah.
But yes, I imagine the Americanization of a lot of climbing has taken root there. You can kind of see that I'm a lot of these positions don't look that stable, but she is at least keeping a hand and a foot on cracks. Cracks are your friend when you're climbing these walls. There's a lot of them, and it's basically
does
the way
it sort
that
of feel like? Does it feel like her hands sort of like slightly slot in when you get near to them? Like how does that work? Or is
sometimes, like I have stopped being quite as precise with trying to get it exactly where I think a hand should go, because as long as you're kind of near it,
Great.
the system is like, yeah, all right, that's enough. I'm not going to make you slip that hold or whatever. But it does kind of feel a lot of the time like I am playing that system instead of playing the game, if that makes sense. Like I'm just sort of being like, is the system going to be all right with me doing that? As opposed to...
So that's climbing in real life. The system is the universe.
The system is the laws of gravity. Yeah. Is the law of gravity going to be okay with me extending my leg over here to stop me from sliding out or whatever?
Okay. You just put another point on there. Do you have like a limited number of those? Is it unlimited?
So you can actually see them just at the bottom of my bag there. So I have 4 more left, where you can check your bag. Oh yeah, and this is quite illustrative. I can't look at, you can't root around in your bag while you're climbing. But if you just clipped in, you can go on off belay.
I'll take
a breather. Thank you.
Nice.
Refill your stamina, and then you can go in there. You can root around your bag. You can eat a protein bar if you're starting to run out of stamina or anything. And then when you're ready to get going again, you just hit climb, and you're back to shoving your feet on various different outcrops.
Lovely. And so I think something that sort of is immediately apparent is that Ava, her limbs don't always like go in humanly realistic ways, but I'm personally of the opinion that I don't really mind that in video games as long as they get the feeling of what it's like. Like, it's going to be very hard to make arms always be doing exactly what they should be doing in real life, like in a complex climbing game like this. So do you feel like it gets across the feeling of where you would want to put your limbs over like necessarily having it look perfect?
I think it misses it sometimes. I think it doesn't really take into account the way that Ava's body has a center of gravity, which is kind of like 90% of the time what you're doing in climbing. You're sort of deciding like, oh, this hold requires my center of gravity to be to the right of me so that I can pull against it or whatever. Doesn't do a great job of doing that. It's kind of more just do your feet fit on this this place? Can you pull yourself or reach
Pittons.
the next yeah, she just said pittons there. God damn it, Ava.
Look at this.
But yeah,
Making
this
up
is
for it with a nice pretty environment.
This is the Tenzen mountain range. This is like a sort of like tutorial area. Whenever you see one of these things, you can save and set up your bivouac, another French word.
Hold on. That's a cairn. I just saw a cairn.
There is a cairn in the little savey hole. Yeah.
Explain this whole menu thing we're looking at now, and then I want to get back to cairns.
Yeah, sure. So I like this menu. I think it's good. It's very simple. It basically just gives you an option to do a whole bunch of things that you would do to survive or keep yourself going. You can cook. Obviously, we're going to make some noodles right now because that's all we got. It's a really simple cooking system. You just stick two things together. And essentially, you can just stick a liquid and something else together. You can then eat it or store it for later. And if you store it for later, there is literally just a bowl of noodles rattling around in your bag now. Food stays warm for a certain amount of time, and if it's warm, then it gives you like a buff against cold. But otherwise, it'll cool down, and that buff will go away. But you'll still get the benefits that are in black.
And how do you see these like stats? You mentioned they're in the top left. That you've got like cold food, wet. I assume that is.
Just thirst. Yeah.
Thirst. That's it. Okay. How do you see those like decrease? Do those bars like those icons in the top left? Do they steadily like empty? Do the bars around them go?
Each bar, each side of the triangle goes down. And when you lose a bar, you'll get like you might notice when we're outside and climbing, the HUD is very minimalist. You can change that if you want to see it all the time, but if you don't, then it'll just tell you whenever one of the bars is gone, so you can sort of go, oh, I should probably drink something. You can always drink something from your canteen if you fill it up at a spring, or you can eat something that you've managed to put together.
How do you rate her carabiners? You like them? You have
crabs.
those on your
The crabs
bags,
are good.
Yep.
Yeah, she's got pretty decent. All the gear is very. I like it. I like the product design. I guess like the gear design of everything in the game. Looks really good. This is another sort of like survival thing of like. Eventually, throughout the game, you are going to tear up your fingers real bad. So if you tear them up too much, you'll lose grip. So you got to come into your bivouac every now and then and tape up your fingers.
This just reminds me of Resident Evil Village and poor Ethan Winters getting his hands out. But I don't think I'm hoping that Ada's not going to get her hands chopped off and stuck back on at any point during this game. But
not as far as I've played it. But you literally just tape it up, and the one thing that I am annoyed about is that it's a canned thing, so like she has a cut on like the medial digit there or whatever, and she only taped up the proximal digit, which was stupid. But yeah,
it's the small details.
It's the small details. I don't remember if I did ask it to. If you manage to, I haven't done it because I'm such a pro, but if you manage to mess up sticking a piton into the wall, it'll break. When you recover it, and you can turn two broken ones into a proper one again. So you still have a chance to keep climbing.
Nice.
And then you can also check what the weather's like. The weather's nice and fine because we're still at the start of the game. And that's it. That's everything you can do in the bivouac, basically. It's a nice sort of like break from going out here doing like the climbing, really like heavy decision-making stuff of like, yeah, I've got to do that and this, and then you sort of sit in there and do some light inventory management. See, she hates talking to me.
Who's it now? Chris? Naomi? Don't pick up. I'll take care of it later.
Now, how much sort of like freedom have you found in the climbing? Like, you can already see here that you've got a few different routes up this first ascent. Like, does that stay throughout the game? Do you get bits where it really narrows and you're forced onto a really tricky path?
I think
how does that work?
It's probably the bit of the game that's the best. They do a really good job of giving you lots of options, and later on, if you hold on. I'm not talking about later on. If I go over here, I can get a map of what this place is. And then I think after looking at that, I should... Oh no, it's later on. Sorry. I'll have to go to another area. But if you find a map, it might have routes already drawn on it. And then when you go into this view, you'll be able to see what grade those routes are. So you can sort of decide, like,
okay.
oh, I want to try the difficult route up, or I'll just do the baby one, because...
Oh, so there's like a little bit of replayability in that sense of being like, okay, I'm new at the game, I'm going to take the easy route. But
there is some planning
assume...
as well, like, because at the top of the hard one, there might be something that you want to get, because you can kind of cheat with this a little bit. If you press Y, it displays the route that you've taken so far, but it also gives you a nice little drone cam, so you can go around and look at stuff and be like, ooh, that's interesting, maybe I want that. Which is good, because trying to do that like on your own would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the
route selection is good. Planning, I think they sort of got the planning part of climbing down really well. There's even like, if you sort of stand still for long enough, Ava will sit there looking at a wall and doing like the phantom move dance, which you sometimes see people doing in climbing gyms when they're trying to work out their problem. They'll sit there and just be like, okay, like if I hang on at this angle, maybe I can reach this. And, you know, while they're figuring it out in their heads, they're doing moves in practice. Just realised I
so while you're doing this little bit of climb, the name of this game is Cairn, and you and I will both know, because they're around us in various hills and stuff, that cairns are like piles of stones that people make that get left over as like markers or memorials. I think big ones, there's like really old big ones that are like burial things as well, aren't there? In Britain and Ireland. Why is the game called that, and how many cairns do you encounter in Cairn?
Passing through.
I haven't fully understood the significance of it yet, because I've only played 10 hours or so, and I'm quite slow at this. You might be able to tell. I like to walk around and look at the scenery, and has a very good photo mode that I like to take advantage of as well.
Very nice.
But a lot of people have died trying to climb this mountain that you're going for, and on the way up, in the parts that I've played, I have encountered broken climb bots on their way back down the mountain. And the climb bot is basically the Sherpa. It's there to try and keep you safe. And when I find a broken climb bot, Ava builds a very small cairn on top of it. And promises that on her way back down, she will pick it up and take it back for repairs and stuff.
But she's not just a grumpy so-and-so.
I guess, yeah. She's still very grumpy. Every now and then you can find little cairns like this, which just give you a chance to take a short break. They're in mostly picturesque areas, and it does this nice thing where, like, you can look around and everything's in, like, landscape mode, but if you press in the left stick, it changes it to a portrait camera and makes everything tilt-shifty, which is very, very cool. I think that's nice. It's a well-presented game. And yeah, I think it's alright. I think it's pretty good. I will play the rest of it. I will play the rest of the game and maybe be able to get a review up on the site of it.
Right, so I think we'll probably show maybe 5 minutes more of the game or something. So do you think this is a good opportunity to jump forward a bit and show a bit more of the interesting climbing stuff that you can reach?
Let's do that. Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care about that save. Wait, no. It's the same one.
All good. We will remove this in the magic of editing.
This one! The shortcut.
I like these loading screens, I'll say that much.
Good, yeah. Every now and then it has like a little static art loading screen. It actually saved it while I was halfway up that wall, which is fun.
Okay, so where are we now?
Now we are a little bit further up the mountain. I think the base camp is like way back down there. You go through a load zone, so But this is on Kami, the big mountain that you're trying to climb. It's very, very tall. It just keeps going. And this is just below a cable car station. There's a lot of like broken cable cars around here. This one you can see from my route map that I spent some time trying to get down to because it had a bird's nest with some eggs on it, and I really wanted those eggs because I was starving. But yeah, you can check out how you got here.
Oh wow! It shows the whole route
all the way up. Yeah, you can see where you went. You can see that I've been exploring around like random little fallen cable cars and stuff, and taking a good time walking around. But yeah, you get to sort of pick which way you want to go up. I could have literally tried to climb this entire cliff face here, but you know, there's an interesting cable car station over here, so why not try and check it out?
See if we can get up there.
Yeah.
So, how much of this, like, it seems like there's quite a lot of like little interesting points that you spot and go, oh, I'd quite like to go see what that is, and like you can go over
that
to it. Is it?
Like
that's pretty much the
vast
game.
Majority of the game, yeah. You just sort of pick something that looks interesting, pop into this view, decide which way you want to try and get up to it. I think we're going to try and go up the way that rope is, because that looks maybe the most scraggy. Oh, actually, I can show off something that I was talking about earlier, which is when you have a map, this is what it looks like. Someone else further down had drawn a map of this area and sort of like marked out some things. So this isn't actually showing the route grades, but you can probably guess what they are. Green's easy, blue harder, red more difficult, black I think more difficult.
You know, it's funny. I would. You could almost imagine this being like a multiplayer feature, and people who've climbed it before being like, "This is the route I took, and it was hard," or like, "No, this is the route I took, and it was easy." Yeah.
Right. Let's try and get over to that bit. I don't know what she is doing here. What's happening?
It's a good start, Ava. Ava? Is it Ava or Ava?
I don't know. It's got two A's at the front, so I just assumed. I just assumed it was Ava. We're also gonna chalk up because we're going across basically a flat wall here, but there is a ledge for my feet at least. Yeah, this is probably my biggest gripe. She has a hard time sort of navigating around arêtes. An arête is like an edge where two planes meet at an opposite angle. She's okay with chimneys, which is where two planes meet and you're on the inside angle, but she is not good at arêtes. I think it's just kind of a difficulty of doing inverse kinematics like this. Oh, that was a rough one. She did not like doing that.
We saw it was raining a second ago here. Does that have a big impact? Is it something you feel like you have to wait out?
Yeah. I would usually have waited that out, but I think I knew that it was coming to an end because I have played a little bit onwards from this point before. Oh, she did not like that.
Yeah, you can see the wobbly legs coming in.
The wobbly legs coming in. That's classic.
And it feels like there's a lot of like, you get a lot of sort of like vocal feedback from her when she's feeling a bit uncomfortable with something. It's either a like sound of exertion or even a sound of like, oh boy, I'm about to slip, the kind of fear.
Yeah, and you can when you do get like a slip, sometimes if it's like at a really crucial point that you were like, okay, I'm really close to the top, I just have to do this slightly cheeky scree against a wall. You're just smearing your foot, and it makes your heart jump. Like you can sort of feel like I really need this. Please don't take it away from me, which is a feeling that I'm intimately familiar with my own climbs.
So have you put time into many other climbing games? Like I know you mentioned obviously the one Bennett Foddy, but I think recently we had Jusant, didn't we?
Yeah.
Not that long ago. Did you give that a go?
I had a go on Jusant, or at least a quick play of it. I didn't quite gel with it as much as I think I did with this one. This one took me a while to get into as well, I think for some of the same reasons that I didn't quite gel with Jusant, which is I at first struggled to understand its climbing system, and I think... Arva, please, no, you can do it. You can do it, Arva.
Of course, you were just doing that for demonstrative purposes.
Yeah, so when you do fall, as long as you have a good piton in previously, you'll be alright. And then you can grab the rope and just climb yourself back up, which she does with her ascender. Of course, if you didn't have an ascender, this would be basically impossible. Oh, and up top left there, you can see that I am thirsty. So we're just going to hold here and have a little drink.
Oh,
that's
You've got fireworks in your backpack.
You find them at some point. When I hover over them, she says, like, next time I take a break, I'll have a go on them. So looking forward to seeing
maybe
what
in one of
happens
those
with
like short break sitting points, you're gonna launch them up. That would be nice.
But yeah, if you're thirsty, you basically just stop and have a look through what you've shoved in your bag previously and decide which of them you can part with.
I can see some of these give you like temporary buffs as well. Like you've got burst there.
Yeah. So this was. It says I don't remember what I put in it, and I literally don't know. I think it was a nettle, and then I stirred in some honey, which I found from a honey dipper, and that has made it an extra sweet infusion. And sweet stuff. It's kind of like the Zelda Breath of the Wild thing. Everything has a kind of basic buff that it imparts, so you kind of learn what kind of things you should mix together. But we'll have a drink of that, and then a little bit of water as well, just to keep us going. And hopefully that'll have us running up here a little bit faster. Some chalk on. So I haven't noticed the difference the most with burst. Burst is one that just improves the speed that you put your limbs to wherever you're telling them to go, I think. But some of the other, I guess, buffs are more useful. Ones that improve your grip, ones that improve your resilience to taking damage. Those are more useful. So we are going to grab a grip one. I wish that I could sort by wherever I put the grip ones.
It's kind of realistic in that you're sort of rummaging through your pack, aren't you? Being like, where did I put this flippin' thing?
Yeah, I can't imagine how awful it would be to have to do this on the side of a mountain, but we're going to
especially with a bowl of noodles in there.
Yeah, because I ate something that was in a plastic thing, it actually generated garbage, and because we are because we're so
good citizen,
we're good hikers, good climbers, so we always reuse what we waste. So I'm going to compost that in the climb bot, and that will make me some chalk in a bit. So that's kind of your mechanic for getting chalk again, is just sticking anything in there, basically.
So I don't really want to end on too much of a negative point, but if you can briefly go in there is a storyline here, and it sounds like, if you'll excuse the pun, it hasn't really gripped you in that regard.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to sort of later on with Arva explain why she's so driven, I guess, or how that ambition and drive has impacted her personal life. But so far she's just being annoying. She went on this big trip to climb this big mountain the day before her birthday, and her friends all sent her a voice note saying happy birthday, I wish you were here for this. It's you didn't have to go the day before your birthday. Why have you gone the day before your birthday? And I imagine I'll find out, and maybe I will be ashamed of my words and deeds. But before then, she just seems like a bit of a misanthrope. So.
But a misanthrope who's made it up to a monorail station.
Monorail station just before sunset. Lovely.
Can we get up on top of it to get a nice view?
I don't know. I haven't climbed a man-made structure. Yeah, there's like something to explore in here. Climb up, giving my stuff back. Broken dispenser that I will pillage for things after we are done here. No. Thought I might be able to do a little bit of a French start there and run and kick.
I do like that Climbot's constantly there, just sort of embarrassing the
Yeah.
your human things. Oh, this looks maybe doable.
Just about.
Come on, Arlo.
Yeah, let's go inside.
Heck yeah.
Nothing can go wrong in here.
I would never get in something like this that could tilt over and fall off.
You know, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't like being.
What if we climb on top?
I don't like
Can we
being
try and...
Yeah, let's go for the top here.
Get windy as well.
Those spider fingers that just stick to glass. Nonsense.
There we go, just in time for sunset.
Beautiful.
Watch me bring Urbex into the mountain space.
Oh, I like that there's like things written by other people who've climbed up here as well. Oh, we're gonna get the fireworks. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's
Okay.
Cairn.
I don't think there's a better way we can end this. That's an introduction to Cairn. It's a climbing game. I guess I'll ask, like, are you planning to play more of this? Are you enjoying it enough that you're like, I wanna commit and go through?
Yeah, I'll keep going. It's surprising me, like little bits like that where, you know, something happens unexpectedly is always nice, and I think it has the space for a lot more of that going on as we go further up the mountain. I will put up for Ava for a bit longer.
Lovely. Oh, thank you for joining us if you're checking out Cairn, and check out Restart.run for plenty more games coverage and looks at cool games like this one.